refused to let it go, and 220 for Carola Garra, representing Italy, the reigning 63-kilo champion, moving up for the battle of the 69s.
This is more than she's ever done on the platform before.
Well, the world record coming in was 217.5, and I believe 218 by Leah in round 2.
I think we came in at 211.5. We've knocked that
or 211.5
out of the water. Wow.
And she had more in the tank, if I'm honest.
She did. That was impressive.
Whoa.
So that's her second time she's broken the world record.
It's interesting
already.
She didn't take a chip there.
Well, I guess they're not as crucial because we're basing it off world records, not sort of being ahead in the weight class.
Right. There are 369s though, but let's...
Sure.
Yeah.
And of course, Leah hasn't taken the chip either.
Yeah. Leah Bavoil, 225. This is a monstrous squat for a 69-kilo lifter. Now, I had heard whispers she was going to enter into the 220s. Well, here we are, and 218 moved very well for her.
Yeah, I wondered if she'd hit 220, but 225, that's phenomenal. Her platform best was 213, only 30 minutes ago. We've left that far behind.
We are so deep into world record territory right now, we can't even see the shoreline.
There's a huge chant running around the auditorium.
Oh! Leah Bavoil, 225 with authority.
Superb.
Prescillia Bavoil, the 2-time IPF World Champion, who set to embark on a path to defend her global title for the 3rd time. Earlier in February, she went up against the current world record holder, Agata Sitko, and her staunch agitator, former world record holder, Italy's Carola Garra. The monumental clash between all 3 herculean athletes at the Sheffield Championships resulted in one of the greatest battles to have transpired within the history of the sport. Her masterful performance ultimately earned her both a 2nd spot behind crowned champion of champions, Agata, as well as earning a hard-fought world record squat of 225 kilograms. With Agata deciding to compete as a 76 kilograms athlete at the IPF World Championships, such circumstance leaves both Prescillia and Carola to fight for the global title. In 2019, Prescillia, who originally competed as a 63 kilograms athlete, experienced her first defeat by USA's Samantha Colloin, and Carola, who successfully laid claim to the 63 kilograms world title. Subsequently, at the 2024 Sheffield Championships, the margin between Prescillia and Carola stood at 2.5 kilograms, which is 17.25 kilograms below the median margin of 19.75 kilograms within the last decade at the IPF World Classic Championships between athletes that finished at both 2nd and 3rd place at each championships. Such close proximity partly highlights the insurmountable battle that took place at the Sheffield Championships, where both tenacious athletes experienced a whopping 1-year progression at 6.56%. For Prescillia, if compared with her 2023 season best total of 549 kilograms and a 6.27% progression once compared with her prior competition best total of 550.5 kilograms as a 67.5 kilograms to 69 kilograms athlete. Carola, who held the world record total last season with a total of 554 kilograms, experienced a 1-year and overall progression of 5.14%. In the end, Prescillia achieved a stunning PR total of 585 kilograms at the end of the championships, including a meet KPI score of 89.90%, which is 5.27% above her average meet KPI score of 84.63%. As a 67.5 to 69 kilograms athlete. Carola wasn't far behind, where the Italian athlete finished with a total of 582.5 kilograms, alongside a meet KPI score of 89.83%, a slight fall of 0.13%, in parallel to a world record-setting performance at the 2023 FIPL Senior Classic Women's Finals meet, KPI score of 89.96%, where she astonishingly first broke the weight class's world record with a total of 554 kilograms. Their individual respective KPI scores signal that both athletes were masterfully performing at both an incredibly high degree and efficiency rate. As such, it is not surprising that the 2024 World Classic Championships appears to be one to watch for a riveting matchup between Carola, who is a 2-time IPF World Champion as a 63 kilograms athlete, versus the current reigning 67.5 to 69 kilograms defending champion, Prescillia. Prescillia's baseline total projection currently stands between 593.44 kilograms and 621.61 kilograms. Carola's baseline projection ranges between a dumbfounding total of 612.47 kilograms to 626.39 kilograms. Her worst-case scenario projection stands between 594.28 kilograms and 621.19 kilograms. It is clearly evident that both athletes are progressing on a world record upward trajectory. For instance, Carola's low-end total projection of 612.47 kilograms would demolish Agata's world record total of 600 kilograms, which she set earlier in the season at the Sheffield Championships. Prescillia, if she is able to achieve within the realm of her top-end baseline total projection of 621.61 kilograms, also shows the potentiality to possibly claim the world record and #1 global spot. However, Carola's baseline projection is evidence of a historically higher progression rate than her closest competition, including placing her, on paper, as the favorite to snatch the world title from the French athlete. However, whilst Carola's rate of progression is higher, historically the defending champion tends to on average attain a higher amount of projected baseline totals, which stands at an average of 93.76%, whilst Carola's average attainment stands at 90.64%. Earlier, within the first quarter of the season, at the Sheffield Championships, such was clearly evident. For instance, Prescillia achieved an average above 2.53% of her projected baseline figures, which includes achieving over 6.48% of her baseline squat projection, over 0.13% for bench, over 2.20% for deadlift, and over 1.32% of her projected total. Carola's overall average attainment stood at 1.08% below her projected baseline figures, which consequently included scoring 4.58% below her baseline squat projection, 1.09% above her bench projection, 1.93% above her deadlift projection, and 2.76% below her baseline projection for her total. Excitedly, by observing both athletes' baseline squat projection, it appears that the world may bear witness to a further possible world record slugging match with Carola's high rate of progression throughout. Her baseline squat projection currently stands between 230.48 kilograms and 239.33 kilograms. Amazingly, even if she were to experience a less than ideal meet, her worst case scenario squat projection, which ranges between 224.72 kilograms and 233.35 kilograms, still highly suggests a possibility of either matching or surpassing Prescillia's world record squat of 225 kilograms. But laying claim to the squat world record will certainly not be an easy feat for Carola. For instance, Prescillia's baseline squat projection, which ranges between 230.47 kilograms and 239.92 kilograms, almost mirrors Carola's squat projection, which as stated earlier, in effect heightens the prospect of an all-out brawl. Her worst-case squat projection stands between 228.91 kilograms and 238.35 kilograms, which reflects Prescillia having a greater opportunity to retain her world record if one were to compare both of their worst-case top ends. Carola, whose average bench reliability accounts for 26.12% of her historical totals, versus Prescillia's average bench reliability of 20.73%, including having the overwhelming strongest bench between both athletes, continues to signal the probability of continuing her dominance in the bench discipline. At the present moment, Carola has a 27.5 kilograms or 22.49% leading margin above the defending champion, whose competition best bench stands at 122.5 kilograms, in parallel to Prescilla's PR bench of 150 kilograms, which is the second heaviest all-time bench within the history of the weight class, whether tested or untested. Her bench of 150 kilograms is ahead of greats such as both the IPF and USAPL Hall of Fame athlete Jennifer Thompson, who is arguably one of the best bench specialists the sport has ever witnessed. Carola appears to be on the linear path to possibly surpass Agata's recent bench world record of 154 kilograms. Her baseline bench projection ranges between 154.29 kilograms and 165.13 kilograms, in parallel to Prescillia's projection figure, which stands between 126.71 kilograms and 130.48 kilograms, which would possibly place her on the back foot between 27.58 kilograms to 34.65 kilograms. Whilst the bench may provide a significant advantage for the athlete in seriously contending for the world title, however, her heavy bench reliance may cost her dearly if she were to experience failure or failures within the bench. Presently, her bench reliability stands at 7.57%, in parallel to Prescillia's bench reliability of 45.33%, which in turn represents a much higher chance of failure. The average bench reliability as a group, which accounts for most of the top 20, 67.5 to 69 kilograms athletes, level of reliability stands at 37.42%. The deadlift showed a slightly less average reliability, which stands at 39.63%. The average group's squat reliability stands at 45.11%, which quantifiably means the group has experienced less failure in comparison to both the bench and deadlift. Unlike Carola, who historically relies more heavily on the bench and also somewhat the squat to build her totals, Prescillia tends to on average rely on both the squat, which typically accounts for 38.10% versus 37.02% for Carola, and deadlift at 41.18%, which is 4.32% above her closest rivals' reliance of 36.86%. Her heavy reliance on the deadlift is reflected in her baseline projection, which stands between 244.74 kilograms and 248.73 kilograms, both 23.96 kilograms to 26.37 kilograms above Carola's baseline projection, which ranges between 220.78 kilograms and 222.36 kilograms. Both the deadlift discipline and her level of efficiency or reliability without experiencing failure may transpire to become the deciding factor of the ultimate outcome of the championships. For instance, Prescillia's rate of progression pinpoints a realistic possibility of extending the squat world record even further. Her average squat attainment stands at 90% of her baseline squat projections. Such would equate to a squat ranging between 207.42 kilograms and 215.93 kilograms. Even though Prescillia is the squat world record holder, Carola on average has achieved slightly greater attainment of 90.69%, which equates to a possible squat ranging between 209.02 kilograms and 217.05 kilograms, enough to plausibly provide her with a leading margin of 1.12 kilograms to 1.60 kilograms. It is not improbable for Carola to win the World Championships with the highlighted margins. That's if she's able to sustain the lead throughout. Her average historical bench attainment stands at 84.67% of her projected baseline figures, which is likened to a bench ranging between 130.64 kilograms and 139.82 kilograms, in comparison to Prescillia, who, even though has a higher bench attainment of 90.97%, such still prospectively places her on the back foot by a margin between 15.37 kilograms and 21.12 kilograms. However, the defending champion's average deadlift attainment of 89.41% would effectively provide her with a 10.96 kilograms to 13.04 kilograms leading margin above Carola, whose average attainment stands at 94.15% of her projections, which provides a deadlift between 207.86 kilograms and 209.35 kilograms. If both of their average total attainments were entirely considered, Prescillia, on paper, would appear to be in a strong position to retain her global title. Her average attainment of 93.76% would provide a total ranging between 556.41 kilograms and 582.82 kilograms, in direct comparison to Carola's total, which ranges between 555.14 kilograms and 567.76 kilograms, due to an average attainment of 90.64%. In such a scenario, Prescillia may likely hit her top end of 582.82 kilograms, or in close proximity at least. For both athletes, overall historical reliability is not the best, to say the least. Nevertheless, we should look forward to witnessing the intense showdown between these two unstoppable athletes as they take center stage at the 2024 IPF World